Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio, this is the Dave Ramsey Show. And it's where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life and your money. I'm Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, host of the Ken Coleman Show, which is part of the Ramsey Solutions Network. And I'm joined by my colleague, Ramsey personality, best-selling author, host of the Chris Hogan Show on the Ramsey Solutions Network. And it's always fun when you and I get together in the Dave Ramsey Show sandbox. We're going to have some fun today, big fella.
Oh, I agree, my friend. We are going to get a chance to give some people some real practical guidance on their careers, but we're also going to talk about that wallet, Ken.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what you have to do in this new year, because we can't talk. 2020's gone.
Thankfully.
Yes.
Thank you for reminding me.
It's gone. And so I have caught myself saying, this year and all the things, 2021 is here. Yes. We have new opportunities ahead.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. One of the things we're going to throw out there is some of you out there are listening in. You're going, okay, I'm working the baby steps, Ken and Chris. I'm working it. I'm getting there. But I sure could use a bigger shovel, as Dave likes to call it. And that's more income. And there is a myth for some of you who have wandered over to the Ken Coleman Show, where we talk about doing what you were created to do in your work. Is the dream job a reality? The answer, of course, is yes. But people go, can I work the baby steps? Can I make steps towards the dream job while paying off debt? And the answer is unequivocally yes.
Absolutely.
So I want to throw that out there. We're going to talk about your life, your money. We're going to talk about your work. But for those of you that are right now going, okay, I'd like to make some more money. I'd like to actually get promoted, make some more money, which means I can get out of debt and save faster.
Yes.
Well, we're going to talk about that. So that phone call, that's welcome. You got money questions, you got life questions. Chris and I are here for you. Here's how you jump in. 888-825-5225. It's a toll-free number. 888-825-5225. And remember, this is your show, America. And we're going to start it off in St. Louis, Missouri, where Joe awaits. Joe, how can we help?
Hey, gentlemen. Wonderful to speak to you. My question is in regards to HSA investing. I've been with my company for like 4 years now, and each year they max out our HSA. Mm-hmm. And I really haven't used a ton of it, so I've got about $18,000 in there.
Oh, that's good.
Kind of sitting there, not doing a ton for me. I'm not sure if I can really how to invest it. I've talked to the bank that holds the money, and their only options are CDs. So I wasn't sure if there's another way to go about that.
Yeah, you should be able, and looking at this, you would want to look at it just like you would your 401k funds. So you're looking to be able to utilize those inside of growth stock mutual funds. And so the CDs, we don't want that. Those are certificates of depreciation. Those things, it's not going to grow. It's not going to give you any growth. Yeah. You got a good chunk of money there. So that's what I do. I want you to reach out to do you have an investment professional that you're using?
I do.
Okay. Take your form in and take the information about your HSA and get connected with them and start to walk that through. Typically banks will do that proprietary thing, and that's push their stuff. But the last thing you want to do, now, do you already have an emergency fund in place?
Yeah, debt-free besides the house, and we're kind of doing a 3-year pay for a new car.
That's good. And so here's what you do. You go sit down with your investment professional, get that money put into the growth stock mutual funds, and now that way hey, this money is going to be growing for me, and if we need it, we use it. If we don't, we don't.
All right.
Wonderful.
There it is. Thank you for the call.
And I really appreciate him reaching out because, Ken, a lot of people, they say, man, I've had this money coming out of my paycheck into the HSA month after month, but if we hadn't used it, what is it? Well, it can become like your medical emergency fund.
That's right.
Right? And so you think about that. So you set that money aside, and if you're investing it and you don't need it, it's going to continue to grow for you just like your 401k.
Yeah, very good point. I like that. The medical emergency fund. And don't you know, As two dudes who have 3 kids each, those medical emergencies are absolutely waiting to happen.
Oh, they happen. Now, you're a whole lot older than me, but it happens.
Folks,
it's okay.
That is what we call fake news, folks. That is fake news. But, it's like I don't know how much money I put into the coffers of the Bone and Joint Institute locally.
Oh, yeah. Well, between that, grocery stores.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah,
I like the medical emergency fund. That's really, really good. 888-825-5225. Let's go to Somerville, South Carolina. Jacob, 15-year-old Jacob joins us, Chris. Ooh. Jacob, how can we help?
Hi. Well, right now I'm only 15, but I have like $3,000 in savings. I'm trying to figure out how to make more money because I make like $7,000 right now from a part-time job.
All right. That's nice. How many hours a week are you working, or how many hours over the course of a month? Because I know you're in school.
I work like 18 in a week because that's the max I can work right now in
Look
school.
At you, man.
Yeah, Jacob, what do you do?
I did work at a restaurant near me.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask you what your hourly rate is?
Yeah, I make minimum wage, which is $7.50 in this state.
What is it?
$7.50.
$7.50. Okay, so Jacob, make sure I understand the question. You're looking for some ideas on how you can make more money because right now you're maxed out at your 18 hours per week. So the theoretical answer, Jacob and Chris, is he needs to get a better job, meaning he's going to get a bump from $7.50, but he's also 15.
That's right.
So it's like, where does he find that? I would look towards manual labor jobs, like maybe in construction and things like that, in the trades,
right,
where they're going to be willing to pay more money than a restaurant will. I would start there. I'd talk to your parents. I'd talk to everybody you know to say, hey, I'm looking for a manual labor job that pays more than $7.50 an hour, somebody who needs a young man who's going to come bust it 18 hours a week. And then the other thing is that, I'd also consider, is there anything you can do that's not so much manual labor, but is there any kind of data entry or some things like that are computer based if you're comfortable on a computer, where companies again are looking, and they would pay an adult
they pay more
to do some of that work.
Hey, Jacob, I'm curious, what are you saving for, buddy?
I'm saving for a car right now.
Saving for a car, okay. How much are you needing in your mind to buy a car? How much are you looking to spend?
Like $10,000.
$10,000. How much do you have saved?
$3,000.
All right. And you want to get this car by when?
I'm trying to get it by the end of this year.
See, I like this. See, we got a goal, we got a time frame, and we got a number.
Hey, Jacob, quick question on the 18 hours. I understand that's what the legal limit is if you're working for, but who's keeping you from going out and scooping poop or raking leaves and cutting lawns? That's your own business, right?
I cut lawns a lot in the summer, but it's winter right now.
So my point is you'll find something where you can work for yourself as well, because you're not bound by that. You can go out there and work for neighbors and friends and anybody possible, and they're throwing cash your way, my man.
Yeah.
So that would be another idea for you.
Yeah, I am very proud of you, young man. Seriously, I mean, at 15 years old, you're motivated. You have a goal and you got a time frame. So many people, Jacob, will say, "Hey, I want to do X, Y, or Z," but they don't know when they want to do it by. And so you having that time frame, I like Ken's idea. Get out and hustle. Let people know that you're looking, and just be very smart. There's all kinds of crazy out there that wants your money, Jacob.
Let me tell you the story. You laughed when I said scoop and poop, but I read a story on my show 2 years ago of a young man who bought a fishing boat. $12,000 fishing boat by walking around his neighborhood, going to his neighbors, going, "Look, do you got dogs? I'll come by once a week and scoop up all the doggy doo." And they were paying him cash, man. And that guy bought himself a fishing boat, scooping some doggy doo. I like that.
I want to know what he
Where
named
there's
that
a
boat.
will, there's a way. Don't move. More Dave Ramsey Show coming right up.
Folks, it's an honor to tell you about the Army National Guard. Not only are they big supporters of our high school curriculum, but they also give you the opportunity to impact your local communities. Whether your goals are to get an education, serve your country, or have a better life, the Army National Guard can help get you there. Plus, they offer unbelievable financial benefits. Secure your future today. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more.
The Dave Ramsey Show continues from our Ramsey Solutions World Headquarters in Nashville. So excited that you are joining us today. 888-825-5225. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague Chris Hogan as we take you through the show today. It is about your life. That means your money, your work. Are you stuck in your career? You can't figure out how to make more money? You got some relationship stuff you want to talk about around that money stuff, because money creates tension. It just does. We're going to take your call. We are here for you. 888-825-5225. Let's go to Chicago, Illinois next, where Stephen joins us. Stephen, how can we help?
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
We are having a blast. What's going on with you?
Yeah, so I was calling because I'm in a bit of a stuck situation this year because, I just turned 29 and I only have my associate's degree right now, and I have no debt, and I saved up about $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what to do next. I'm thinking about either buying a condo or going back to college and finishing my 4-year degree. And I was just calling to ask you guys on your opinion.
All right, so here's what I always ask when somebody asks me, Chris and Stephen, about should I go to college. So there are two qualifications. Is it the only way, Stephen, to get where you want to go professionally? Is it the best way? If the answer is no and no, then no, don't go to college. But if the answer is yes on one of those, then yeah, I think it's the right move. Is it the only way? Automatically, yes. Is it the best way? Yes, it is. So the question becomes, are you considering college because you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is the only way or the best way to get you qualified to do what you want to do? What's the answer?
I guess I didn't think about it like that. The only thing is the job that I have right now, I'm really not planning to be there for a while, so that's why I was also thinking about college.
Okay, but here's the deal. I'm fine with you realizing, in fact, I'm glad you've realized that the job you're in right now is not where you want to be, because I'm the guy that says, hey, what is it that you were created to do in your work? We can talk through that if we need to, but the reality is that you got better things to do with that $20,000. My colleague here can give you lots of good ideas, but until we know, Stephen, that, again, college is the only way or the best way to get that ticket, that qualification to do what you really want to do, then hold off on it. And now, once you find out that you do need a college degree, then yes, sir, we want to go through that. Chris, thoughts on that? He needs to be patient on that
Stephen,
20 grand.
I agree, Ken, and I love that Ken walked you through that, because, Stephen, what you don't want to do is go to college because you're bored, or go because you think that's the natural next step. So let me ask you this: what do you have any other debt that you owe right now?
No, I took out a loan on my 401k, but it's being paid off as I work through it. It's only like $10,000.
Stephen, the one hair I have on my head is wiggling and is standing straight up. Listen to me. Don't you pull any more money out of that 401k. Don't do it. Okay? Because here's the deal. If you lose or leave that job, that money becomes due and payable immediately within 60 to 90 days. So don't have that headache in your life anymore. So I want you to get intentional, get that thing out of your life, and then don't go backwards there. But what I want you to do is really start to think, like Ken's book. Ken, you ought to be generous and give this man a copy of your book.
I'm going to. I've let you finish.
Well, I'm going right now.
Okay,
you hush.
You do it.
But the reason why I say that is, Stephen, Ken's book is literally going to get you thinking more in depth about your heart and what gets you excited. And I'm telling you, it's going to pave the way for you to start understanding what you can do right now. And that's the thing. So don't spend that money on college just out of habit.
Let's put him to the test. Stephen, I do this on the Ken Coleman Show all the time. All right, Stephen, you ready? Here we go. I want you to answer with your heart, not your head. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. What would you do tomorrow if I guaranteed you that you could not fail, but you didn't have to commit the next 30 years of your working life to it? It was a big, fun, professional adventure. What would you try tomorrow? If I guaranteed you great money and great success, what would you try?
I will be a personal trainer. So I can make good money.
Wait a second. Now, hold on, Stephen. Do you need a college degree to be a successful personal trainer? No. Let me answer it
I'm
for
not
you.
sure about that.
No, I'm sure. You need a certain amount. So in the state of Illinois, here's your homework assignment. Before you go to bed tonight, I want you to find out what are the state certifications or requirements for you to be a personal trainer. And if it's not a state thing, what are other gyms? What's the national what's the bar? Steven, that's what we're focused on, man. Mm-hmm. That's what we're focused on is becoming qualified to become a personal trainer. And we're going to give you a copy of my book, The Proximity Principle, because the Proximity Principle says, in order for Steven to become a personal trainer, he's got to be around people who are personal trainers. And he's got to be in places where personal trainers are hanging out and where personal training is happening, making connections and learning the lay of the land, if you will, Steven. That's what you need to do. Yeah. Now I'm bringing this back around to that 20 grand sitting in the account because, Chris, what does he need to do with that 20 grand? Well, knowing that he's got a 401k loan he's got to pay
first
off.
And foremost, you got to get that paid back.
So 10 grand right away.
So it's a matter of trying to talk with your company. Some of those 401k loans will not allow you to pay back in a lump. So you need to talk to your HR person and find out what the plan is and how you can start to pay that back. And then get that thing paid back, but then build up your emergency fund. So Coleman says this all the time, Stephen, and it is the primary job you're in right now may not be your forever job, but it's the one that's going to get you closer to the one you want.
Yeah, the day job is think of your day job as the platform, the diving board by which you're eventually going to jump into that dream job. And we've got to understand many times. So he's in a situation where he knows it's a dead end situation. He don't want to go, but he's got it, and he's got it, and he's bringing in money.
Right.
And so he's going to have to figure out paying off that loan.
Yep.
And then he goes, all right, I still got some cash left over. I can tell you this: he's going to have plenty left over to be able to get qualified, certified as a personal trainer. Now what he does is he goes, all right, I'm going to get qualified. So I got that in my back pocket. Now I'm out there using the proximity principle, and I'm making connections to where somebody goes, oh, hey, Steven's a great guy, and we need a trainer over here. And he starts doing it. Or he might find that I want to do it myself, and so he's going to do it as a side hustle. He's still got the day job.
That's the
and
thing I was going to mention.
He's doing 15 to 20 hours a week training, and he starts pocketing that cash.
That's right. It's not that he had to put it on hold and couldn't do it. Okay, ask me the questions you asked him again. What were the 3 questions you asked? What would you do if you had money? Go.
So what would you do if you knew you could not fail? I guaranteed you financial and professional success.
Okay.
And so it's this fun adventure, but you don't have to commit to it the rest of your life.
Right.
That unlocks people's brains because everybody's afraid of making that. Is it the right dream job?
Right.
You know, is that kind of thing? It's like, whoa. I didn't ask you that. I said, what would you try tomorrow if you got the money you needed and you knew you couldn't fail and you didn't have to commit to it the rest of your life? It takes off all, and you know what it does?
Yeah.
You saw how quickly he goes from locked up to, oh man, I mean, you put it that way, it'd be a personal trainer.
Yep.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. So what's happening there is, when I ask the question that way, Chris, we're turning people's brains off. And we're allowing their heart to answer the question. And so the brain is there to protect us.
Right.
Sometimes. Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
But in this situation, our brain is, if we feel any fear or doubt, what does our brain do?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's protecting us.
It closes off,
So I have to remove the fear and the doubt in that silly question. It's a silly question.
It is, but
it removes the fear and doubt for a moment, and we just go, oh, well, if you take away all of my risk and all of my doubt and all of my, well, then I do this.
Right.
Well, there's your answer.
All right. Well, I answered mine.
What is it?
I put radio host, speaker, and author.
Chris, I've got great news for you.
What's that?
You are in your sweet spot.
That's good.
You, sir,
that is good
are in
to
your
know.
dream job. And
See?
I couldn't be more proud of you.
Well, I appreciate that.
On the commercial break, I'm going to sign a book for you.
But listen, people, I'm serious. Ken's book, Proximity Principle, it lays this out. And it is not just for young people. It's for any person that you look up and you go, is this where I want to be? Yeah. And so grab a copy of Ken's book. Again, Proximity Principle. Go to kencoleman.com. Pick it up
Check
today.
this out. At kencoleman.com, you can get all 3 formats, Chris, because I'm a man of the people.
Oh.
You get all 3 formats for one price. That's the ebook, the hard copy with my signature.
But you didn't do an audio book.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh. And my voice isn't as deep as yours, but it is quite melodious.
All 3.
And so they can get the audio book as well. All 3 formats, one price.
That's
kencoleman.com. Thanks to Papa Dave. Hey, don't move, folks. We're just getting warmed up. The Dave Ramsey Show continues right after this.
What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices. And they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings.
Welcome back, America. You're listening to the Dave Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague Chris Hogan, as we answer your questions about life, your work, your money. 888-825-5225 is the toll-free number to jump in. 888-825-5225. Chris, one of the things you and I both know is homeowners insurance can be one of those things that you set it and forget it. Because when you bought your first home, you may have just gone with whatever coverage your lender suggested at the time, and you haven't thought about it twice since. But just because checking up on your insurance is easy to forget doesn't mean that you can afford to. Smart homeowners shop coverage every 2 to 3 years to make sure that they still have the best coverage for the best price. You also want to make sure that you have the right amount of coverage on your home if it's gone up in value. If it's been a while since you've checked your insurance, we want you to talk to one of our endorsed local provider insurance agents. Our agents will find the right coverage for your needs, and if they can get you a better deal than what you're currently paying, they will. Text the word HOME to 33789. That's HOME. Text that word to 33789. Talk with one of our trusted insurance professionals about the right coverage for you. Again, text the word HOME to 33789. 888-825-5225 is the number to jump in on the conversation with Chris and I. And we're going to go to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, where Amanda is on the line. Amanda, how can we help?
Hi, I am wondering if I should refinance my home. So we just purchased our home. We built it in May of last year, and we got an interest rate of 3.5% at a 30-year fixed. And we're trying to figure out, because current interest rates are a lot cheaper right now for about 2.5%, and we're trying to figure out if we should refinance for 2.5% on a 30-year or if we should pay off the rest of our debt and then refinance for a 15-year.
Mm-hmm. All right, so tell me this. What's your household income?
About $240,000.
Okay. And what other debts do you all have right now?
It's a total of about $33,000. We have about $12,000 still left in student loans. Mm-hmm. About $3,000 left on a credit card. Mm-hmm. We have about $10,000 on a car, and about $8,000 on a personal loan.
Okay, got you. You guys, have you had this $240,000 income for a while?
Well, sort of, yeah. I mean, we've had it for about 2 to 3 years. Okay. We really just got I got a new position, and I got on a big Dave Ramsey kick, and I've been binge listening on your podcast.
No, that's good. And the reason why I say that is because your income, you guys have a strong income.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous.
And what you don't want to have are these little things that suck away from it, Amanda. And the credit card, the car, and the personal loan, those are all signs to me of people that may be above their living, or were financing life before it increased. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay,
yeah.
All right.
No, and we sat down and we were both like, I don't know where this is all going. This is ridiculous. We have to fix this. And so that's what the biggest motivator is. And we already have our emergency fund of, our $1,000, and we've already paid off over $10,000 in credit card debt. And so, because we put a lot of our house, when we built our house, on credit cards, and it's already paid off.
Oh,
and so we're just,
okay. So you were using credit cards for the building of home. Okay.
Well, some of it, yes. We put over 20% down on our house.
Okay, good.
We did pay cash for that.
Okay, good.
And so instead of financing a lot of lighting and everything into the mortgage, we just put it on the credit card and then we just paid it off. Okay. That way we wouldn't finance it over 30 years. We just did a short temporary finance on the credit card and then paid it off.
Okay. Well, in answering your question and taking a look at kind of where you guys are, being able to go from a 3.5 interest rate to 2.5 is great. But guess what term I want you to do?
At 15 years.
Yeah. Seriously, because as you do this, and I know, Amanda, you are a smart gal. You and I know the most obvious difference between a 30 and a 15 is 15 years, but it's the hundreds of thousands in interest, the tens of thousands that it saves you. So you guys looking at your budget, tightening it down, go ahead and get a quote on that 15-year. I love the fact that you're doing it because, again, you got a rate of change of 1% or more. I'm never going to have you refi just to refi, but being able to change your rate that low and shifting to a 15, it can be a game changer for you all.
All right, thank you so much for the call. 888-825-5225. Let's go to San Diego, California, where Heather joins us. Heather, how can we help?
Hey, I have kind of in a predicament.
Hey, Heather. Heather, we're having a hard time hearing you. Let's see if we can get you to move that phone closer to your mouth. Let's try that again.
Is that any better?
Not really. Tell you what, let's
try us back.
Yeah, try us back. I'm going to give you back to Zach there. He'll help you out. We'll see if we can get you a better connection. Yehuda is in Baltimore, Maryland. How can we help?
Hey, Ken. Hey, Chris. How's it going?
We are having a blast. What's going on with you, sir?
So, first of all, Ken, huge fan, proximity principle, literally the playbook of my life.
Oh, awesome.
My wife, too.
Thank you.
Chris, you help me keep the vision, so I love you guys, and I appreciate everything you're doing.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm currently in the these financial coaching master training right now with Ramsey Solutions, and it is out of this world.
Very good.
And I met with a couple last night, and this guy, he's a real estate agent, and he does a little investing and flipping houses, and he uses a credit card for his business. And he understands, don't get into debt. It's not a good thing. And they're building their way up. But I want to give him a good, solid explanation as to why to not use a credit card for business. Because he says, I'm spending all that money at Home Depot anyways. It just would. It's not like I'm spending, more money at groceries at the store. It's a totally different thing. And I feel like I have sort of an answer, but I really want to get your viewpoint on this.
I appreciate this, and I like that you're asking the question. Here's the reality. At the end of the day, he is going to do whatever it is he wants to do. And that's his choice. But here's what the reality is. 96% of people don't pay off their credit cards each month. Okay, 96%. And so that's the next thing. And again, having done the largest study of millionaires that's never been done, talking over 10,000, they don't use them. So it's not a habit or a tool of people who are trying to build true wealth. It's more of the habit of people that are trying to live, want to be rich. Mm-hmm. And so here's the deal. Don't try to convince him. No. What you do is state the facts, lay out your reasoning, but let him make his choices. He gets to figure that out. It's like people that want to worship at the FICO score. When I figured out exactly what the FICO score represented, I had this aha. I went, this is not an indication of how well you're doing with money. This is all about debt. Right? That light bulb went off for me. And when I started to, at first I was trying to make people drink the Kool-Aid. I really was. I was like, listen here, you got to listen to me. You got to hear me. And the people were just listening because for 30 or 40 years of their life, they had been worshiping at the FICO score. Like I had been doing prior to being converted to seeing the reality. So here's what we got to do. Give people the grace and the space to walk their walk. What we're going to do is speak truth. But he doesn't have to get rid of his credit card to be able to listen to your principles. He doesn't have to cut it up that day. But I'm going to tell you, when you plant that seed and you keep watering it and telling people about the truth, they'll eventually start to hear you, and he'll have his own epiphany one day.
Absolutely. And thank you for being in Financial Coach Master Training. You got to love it when we meet these men and women who are
he's
so
just calling
passionate.
in, just totally brown-nosing with you, Coleman.
What?
Proximity principles, the playbook for my life.
Well,
Goodness gracious.
If that's brown-nosing, it is effective, okay? Because I am receiving that compliment.
It's a great compliment.
I am receiving it because I think it's a darn good book.
That's a great book,
If
buddy.
you don't know how to get where you want to go, Go get it. DaveRamsey.com, KenColeman.com, the proximity principle. All right, fun stuff there. It's interesting that I love the heart of that because, we have a lot of people that listen to this show where obviously they started listening for personal reasons.
Right.
I want to get my money life. I want a financial peace. Uh-huh. And so they start walking through the baby steps and maybe they become coordinators or maybe they go to the next step and go to our training to be a financial coach. And they kind of go, hey, what do we say here on this? Because we've told them everything we've learned. We told them everything you guys say on the Dave Ramsey Show, but they're just not quite getting it. It's really fun to see that passion and conviction. But you make a very good point. Listen, don't beat people over the head with it. Just keep sharing the truth.
That's right.
Showing the love, shining the light. And when they're ready and when they need it most, they'll get it.
That's right.
So don't get all hung up on it. Just keep being who you're being. All right. We're going to keep doing what we do and being who we are. And that's going to continue here on the Dave Ramsey Show. You're listening to The Dave Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Chris Hogan. And we are here taking your questions about life, money, working on purpose, getting that bigger shovel so you can get out of debt faster and save money faster. 888-825-5225 is the phone number to jump in. It is your show, America. 888-825-5225. Let's go to San Diego, California, where Heather is joining us. Heather, how can we help?
Hey, so I have a predicament with my car. I bought a new car, regrettably. My last car was totaled, and I'm about to lose it. I'm like 4 months behind, and I think the only reason why it hasn't been repoed yet is because they can't find me because I'm out of town.
Okay.
And I'm not sure what to do because the Cali Blue Book says that I would get for private sale, I'd get about $2,500 less than what I owe on it.
How much do you owe on this car?
A little under $16,000.
Okay, and tell me this: why are you 4 months behind? What happened?
I haven't been able to get regular. I'm a photographer.
Okay.
And in San Diego, I've been in San Diego. I actually live in a different state, but I've been in San Diego since August.
Okay.
And we're on lockdown, so I haven't been allowed to work.
Okay. All right. So here's the reality, Heather, of what's got to happen. You have got to reach out to this creditor, and you've got to communicate. Okay. Because right now, what you're feeling is like you're feeling like a hostage. You're feeling like you're on the run, like Bonnie and Clyde or something. Listen, contact them. If you're 4 months behind, yeah, they are looking for it. Because even if you can't pay, you can pay attention. Let me say that again. Even if you can't afford to make a payment, you can pay attention. Get on the phone right now with that creditor, contact them, let them know the situation of what's happened. You're not the only one, okay, that's been in lockdown or hadn't been able to find some work. But I want you to communicate this with them so they can document the account. And now, instead of being opposing each other, you can get on the same side of the table and work with them to figure out how to resolve this car situation. And so if you can't make the payment, they're going to need the vehicle. Here's the thing. I want you to work with them to either A, get it sold, or for you to voluntarily turn it in. But we got to talk about what's going to happen with the deficiency balance. And what I mean by that is if you owe just over 16, they're going to sell it at an auction for 5. Then they're going to come after you for 11. So communicate with them, ask them to document the account, and gain agreement on the plan of action.
I'm going to add one other thing to that. And that is, Heather, the next phone call you make after what Chris just told you to do, you need to start calling everybody you know.
Yeah.
And if you can't take pictures right now, I get that. But just because you can't do your main line of work because of the COVID restrictions in California doesn't mean that you cannot work.
Yep.
And I know it's not fun, and I'm not judging you, but I am challenging you that you need to get to work. And when you make that phone call, you need to say, look, here's what's happened.
Yep.
But I am now going to do 1, 2, 3 jobs, and I'm going to work out something with you all. But they got to know that you're actually going to make an effort to get this thing right-sized. And the way you do that is by getting to work. I don't care if you've got a nanny, if you've got to deliver pizzas, you got to drive delivery anywhere and everywhere you can. My point is, get some money coming in. Even if it's not anywhere close to photography.
Yep.
You need some momentum in your life.
Well, Ken, what happens is, as I tell people, once you start making some money, you're going to feel better about yourself.
That's right.
And it's always easier to find another job when you got one.
That's the truth.
Yeah. So,
absolutely
Heather,
right.
call them today. Seriously, don't hide anymore. And just own it. When you call them, you say, listen, right out of the gate, I want to apologize. I have not communicated well with you all. I dropped the ball. I'm sorry. And what you do is you kind of just take that off the table.
Yep.
So you're not having to feel that. And now you can start to communicate with them about what to do.
That's right.
All right.
Sarah is up next in Portland, Oregon. Sarah, how can we help?
Hi. Thanks so much for taking my call.
You bet. What's going on?
So I'm kind of in a... I don't know how you would classify this, but I'm 29. I'm single, no kids, not married, and I guess I'm between baby step 4 and 5.
Great.
So I do about 20% in retirement, no debt, and I have a question about savings. So a few future things that I've been thinking about is I'd love to buy a house someday. Right now, my rent is pretty cheap, and I live with friends, so I've been enjoying that. So, would like to save for a house. I have my car is paid off. I have about maybe 5 years left on that car before it completely dies. So, want to start saving for a car, and then it's kind of leap of faith. But I'm not dating anyone, but would love to start saving for a wedding someday. So my question is how do you kind of save for multiple things? Do you put it all in one account? Do you try to...
That's a good question, Sarah.
Up?
Well, what it is you're goal-oriented, which is fantastic. Now, I want you to apologize to your vehicle, okay? Don't you put that evil on your car and tell it it's only got 5 years left. Your car heard you, okay? Your car heard you. But I love your goal-orientedness. What I would do is this. Back down your investing to 15%, okay? The additional 5%, I want you to put it over into your money market account where your emergency fund money is sitting. And what you're going to do, you know how much in there is the emergency fund, right? And then you start adding to that. And inside of that, as you put that money in, you're saving for home down payment or car repair, whichever happens first. But the main thing is you've got money in there. So you can do it in one account. There's no reason to open up 5 or 6 different money market accounts. Just have your regular one. You know that X amount in there is the emergency fund. The amount over that is for home down payment, car, wedding, etc.
Yeah, I love that. Love it. She's on top of it.
But great job. But yeah, back that retirement down, back that retirement investing down. That's going to help you make progress for saving for a house. She's a goal-oriented young lady. She's making stuff happen.
Yeah.
She's
really
not waiting.
great.
She's not waiting.
Yeah, I love that.
That's good.
I really like that because it's interesting though what you said about the car. You know what I mean? Well, you don't know that car's going to die in 5 years.
Yeah,
you
don't
take
put that
good
on your
care
car.
of it. I think what she meant to say was, I think I'm going to break up with this car.
That's right. That's what it is.
I think 5 more years, I might want to break up with this car.
Yeah.
You know, it's not you, it's me.
I said that for about 8 years and kept driving the car. You know why? Because I didn't want to part ways with the money. I just wanted to keep going.
Yeah, it's really easy to hang on to that car.
Oh, it is. And you can talk good. And I duct taped that car and drove it like a skateboard if I had to, but I wasn't going to part with that money. But finally I had to.
Oh, it's so funny.
It is fun.
I love it. You know, here's what's interesting on the big savings goals. So what people need to understand is you've got that big savings account, that money market account. It's called a spreadsheet. You don't have to have multiple accounts. Just go in there and go, here, I know what my emergency fund is. And then, I'm going to start saving for the car, and I'm going to put X amount of money in. So I'm keeping tabs with that. And so I got a handy little spreadsheet, and it just very easily shows me how much is in there and what it's for.
Yep. No, you really can. And it's a good simplified way just to be in control. And it's great. You can do this. You really and truly can. And I want to encourage people out there. I had a little lady roll up on me once, Ken, and told me, Chris Hogan, you and Dave Ramsey don't want anybody to have no stuff. She had attitude, Ken. She really did. And I thought she was cute as a button. And I said, no, ma'am, that's not true. I said, here, I want you to have nice stuff. I just don't want stuff to have you.
Yeah.
And when you have stuff and it's attached to debt, it's the stuff that has you. So have nice things, but save up, pay cash for it. We got to get in that habit, of paying cash for small, medium, and large things.
Yeah, and part of that deal is it's agonizing. It's agonizing to save because you've got your eye on something that you desire. Mm-hmm. Think about it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of emotion attached to a big ticket item that you're saving for. So it plays games with us. Think about this, the psychological and the emotional. Because you go, oh my gosh, I'm really, really excited about this. I really, really want this. And I see everybody else goes into debt for this and they got it right now.
Yeah.
I got to wait this long. It's going to take me this long to be disciplined and save. And there's where we get in trouble.
That's right.
So it's like you got to understand that the battle you're going in to save, it's a battle.
And it's
with
worth
your
it.
emotions, it is always worth it.
It's totally worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Hey, I want to thank our producer, James Child, and our associate producer, Kelly Daniel, but most of all, my good pal, Chris Hogan, and you, America. Thank you for joining us. This is The Dave Ramsey Show.
Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio. This is the Dave Ramsey Show, and it's where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life, your money, your work, whatever you want to talk about, because all those things are all kind of tied together. I'm Ken Coleman, host of the Ken Coleman Show on the Ramsey Solutions Network, joined by my colleague, Chris Hogan, who's host of the Chris Hogan Show, also part of the Ramsey Solutions Network. And we are here for you. 888-825-5225 is the phone number to jump in. 888-825-5225. 225. And Chris, I know that anytime we get a chance to do this with Dave or together, we walk away going, it beats working for a living.
Oh my gosh. I mean, to get a chance to reach out and help people.
Yeah.
I mean, Coleman, you talk about all the time, the sweet spot and dream jobs. I mean, yeah. I'm living it.
Yeah, we're both there.
Yeah.
And so what a perfect call to start off this hour with. I mean, these are the kind of fun questions here. Chris is in the Tri-Cities area of our great state of Tennessee. Chris, how can we help?
Hey, guys, thanks for taking my call.
You bet.
I've got a kind of good problem, I guess you'd say, to have.
Mm-hmm.
I live on a pretty regular budget and have for years. And at the end of the month, I've usually got anywhere from $500 to $1,200 extra. After expenses, after bills, spending money, golfing, everything.
All right.
And my question is, what I've been doing, I just got into investing right about the start of the pandemic last March, to be honest. Opened up a Wealthfront ETF robo-advisor account just to toy with it to start with, see how it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Put just a little bit of my savings in it, like $3,000. And since I've been adding to it. And my question is, what I've been doing is putting about a third each month, a third of what I have to save in that account, and the rest just in my regular savings account. And I'm not sure if I should be being more aggressive and putting more in the investment account, or if that's a good formula, if I should just stick with what I'm doing now,
right.
Or if I should put more in my savings account and less in the investment account.
Okay, so answer this for me, my friend. How much is your household income per month?
I clear about $4,000 a month.
Okay, all right.
It's just me. I'm single, no kids, just
okay,
me,
all right.
And I have very little debt.
All right, what debt do you have left?
I have a small mortgage on my condo, like $450 a month.
Okay.
I have a new car payment, first and only new car I've ever bought in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like I was in a position I could do it.
How much do you owe on that? How much do you owe on that car?
I just bought it last year, so I still, I'm making payments on it. I still owe, I guess, $25,000-$30,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what else?
And I have a student loan payment of about $200 a month.
All right. And you owe how much on the student loan?
I just started those about a year or two ago also, so I still owe about $25,000 on those.
All right. Well, Chris, here's why I'm saying this. What we have found is when you try to do 6 or 7 things at the same time, you end up being ineffective in all of them. And so what we have figured out is when you zero in and you focus on something, you can make some stuff happen. So I love that you budget. Number one, that means you're very intentional with your money. You said you have anywhere between $500 and $1,200 left over per month. Here's what I want you to invest in: your financial future. And what I mean by that is, instead of you investing right now, I would rather you pause that and turn your attention to the threat that's in your life, and that's the debt you have. Okay? I would tell you to get intentional, like the car payment. How much is that payment per month?
That's $400.
All right, so $400, and you got about how much going to the student loans?
About $200.
All right, so I would tell you to take that $500 to $1,200 that you have extra and target the debt you have. I'd knock out you said the student loan you owe about $25,000 on?
Yes.
And then about $30 on the car. I would I'd pick the minimum payment on the car. Every other free dime, brother, I'm going to send toward that student loan debt. Knock that out of your life. That's going to free up $200. Now take all the extra, pay it toward the car. You'll have the student loan debt out of your life. You'll have the car paid off. Then what I would tell you to do is once that's out of your life, I want you to build up a serious emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. Once you have that done, now you can start to invest. Here's the best tool. Go with 15% of your household income from an investing standpoint. Okay, you'll have the debt out of your life. You're going to have a pile of money as a cushion for you. Then the only thing you're going to owe on is your condo or your townhouse. And then you're investing 15%. You're going to be in an outstanding position, young man.
Yeah. I thought you were very nice about the car.
Well, I mean, it's done. What's done is done. Now, could I tell him, if you're getting intentional, and if he was telling me things were tight, could I tell him to sell it? If he wants to be gazelle intense, he could slap a for sale sign on that thing, get it out of his life, and go find a Datsun 280Z.
Oh, I love those.
1984.
Those are vintage. And by the way, vintage is back.
Well, vintage is back. Hold on, because I want to come to your vehicle. But when you get serious about getting out of debt, and especially from a man, Chris, what I think is you start to see that student loan debt get out of your life. Then you go, wait a minute. I'm voluntarily holding on to this car loan. Yeah. I could sell this car, go find a beater car, and then remove that $450 obligation. That's what happens in phase 2 of people getting intense.
Yeah. Now, and with a car that's that new, that's worth a decent amount of money,
you can get it moved.
He can move that and then actually pay cash for something else.
Okay, so tips on how to sell a car, because I know some people out there probably did some silly. Go to kbb.com, figure out how much you could sell it for, right? You want to see that dollar amount. Contact the bank or the company you have the loan through. Get your 30-day payoff on that loan. So you look at what it's worth, look at the 30-day payoff, then you can try to price this thing and get it sold. You want to be proactive. Use online things to sell your cars. People will travel to come buy your car. So you want to get it out there. Take some good pictures of it. Get it all detailed, shined up, looking good. Take pictures. Get those things posted. You can use all kinds of things online, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, all these things. But be proactive, because there are people out there with cash that'll buy it.
That's exactly right. By the way, when you take those pictures, make sure that you don't post a picture with your license plate on there. Just a little thing there. Got to be careful these days.
Oh, good tip.
You just a little marker or whatever you want to do. Or I've seen people literally take a picture of the back of the vehicle and they got their finger in the picture.
Yes.
It's kind of creative.
It is. And here's the other thing. You know what's even more important tip? When you sell it, take your license plate off of it.
Yeah, right. Of course.
Okay, because I've heard some horror stories of people that forgot to do that.
Yeah.
The person continues to drive it. If they get a ticket or something, they can come after you.
Yeah, Chris, I got to tell you, brother, I think you a guy who lived below your means, you knock this debt out, and you're a guy that can knock it out quickly. You can always go back and get the really nice car. But man, to your point, getting the risk out of your life, it's just so important.
Get it out.
Walk the baby
It's like
steps.
crazy. There's 3 things you don't want in your life, Ken. I'm going to tell you this. We're going to go to break. I'm going to do it fast.
I like it.
You don't want crazy in your life.
No.
You don't want drama in your life.
No.
And you don't want debt in your life.
No.
Delete them.
I
All
love
3. Crazy, drama, debt. Bye.
I'll tell you what you do want more of in your life.
That's
Hope.
us.
Great conversation.
Me and
you. A little
you.
more Coleman, a little more Hogan.
Yes.
A little more of the Dave Ramsey Show.
Healthcare has gotten to be ridiculous. It puts people, on the brink. And so it would have put us on the brink had we not had CHM. CHM saved our life, saved our financial lives.
Christian Healthcare Ministries, or CHM, is not health insurance, but it is a budget-friendly option and the original health cost-sharing ministry for Christians. Learn more today and check us out at chministries.org. That's chministries.org.
The Dave Ramsey Show continues. I'm Ken Coleman. He is Chris Hogan, and we are here for you. 888-825-5225. You got a question? We'll dive into it. We're not scared. Nope. Hope is on the other end of the line. 888-825-5225. How many of you out there are miserable in your work, but you think you can't change jobs because you're trying to get out of debt? I got news for you. Call me. Chris and I will talk you through it. You can stay on the baby steps, continue to get out of debt, moving towards financial peace, and still change jobs. In fact, for many of you, you need to change jobs because you make more money and make that shovel bigger and get out of debt faster. I want to remind folks that every time I have ever either facilitated a debt-free scream when we're co-hosting with Dave or we're hosting together, or I've sat there and watched screams, debt-free screams, every time their income has gone up. Have you noticed that?
I have.
When Dave always, we walk through, we go, okay, how much were you making at the start of the journey?
Yeah.
How much are you making now? And there's always a sizable, or we could say significant income increase. Now, you and I both know why, and it's a function of focus.
It really is. You start looking and you start clawing and trying to get yourself out of debt, you'll start thinking differently, you'll start perceiving things differently, and you're open to trying. And it's amazing. When you start to get certain areas of your life in order, things happen. Yeah. Now, hear me. Just because you make more doesn't mean you're going to do more, get more progress. Here, you need a system.
Yeah.
And speaking of system, if you never feel like you can never save enough or you can't pay off all your debt, after a year like 2020, most of America feels the exact same way. But the money shouldn't be the one thing you have to worry about. That's why in 2021, we are hitting reset. That's right, because no matter what's happening in the world, you can control your money. You just need the plan, like I was talking about earlier. Ramsey Plus is our step-by-step plan that helps you get quick wins so you can make real progress real fast. Because once you get all your debt paid off, guess what? Your money gets to stay with you in your bank account. That means you can finally start spending and saving your money without worry and get the security that you need right now. So here's our challenge to you. Decide on a total money reset this year. Then start Ramsey Plus. Real simple. Commit to working hard in the first 90 days and watch those small daily wins turn into lifelong habits, and you'll never feel out of control with your money again. So here's what you do. To start your Ramsey Plus for free and it is free, people. Go to daveramsey.com/reset. Again, that's daveramsey.com/reset. And you can get on a plan today. Don't think you can't, because you can. You just need to try.
It's time to go. Make the move. You'll never regret it. 888-825-5225. Let's go to Athens, Georgia, where Derek joins us. Derek, how can we help?
Hey, how you doing?
We are living the dream. What's going on?
Hey, I got a quick question. It's kind of for my wife. She's no debt. She's got about $220K saved up. She's 38. She'll be retiring in 2 years. We're having our first baby. So at 40, she won't be working. She'll be spending all day full-time mom kind of deal. By that time, she'll have $450, $500 saved up. Like I said, we have no debt. So my question is, I'm starting to get a little older, and I'm wondering, with her money and her income and everything that she'll have saved up at that point, what ideas do you have to where to put that money safely, in case something happens to me? First of all, I don't really believe in the stock market and all that stuff. Just kind of what other ideas you got out of the box as far as that goes.
Chris, before you dive into that, he's saying something very interesting I've picked up on. Derek, I just need a little bit more light shed on the situation. You keep calling it her money. Her money.
It's her money.
Well, what do you mean? Where's the our money part? I'm a little confused why you're calling it her money.
Well, we have separate. We don't mix our monies.
Why?
Well, I mean, to be bluntly honest, when we met, I had a lot more than her, and I still do, and I don't want her to feel like that she's dependent on that. I told her, I'll help you make yours, and what yours is yours. Obviously, I pay for everything. I just didn't. I wasn't going to have that, So,
Derek, how long have y'all been married?
We've been together almost 6 years. Been married about 2.
Okay.
Wow.
And you all have kids?
No, the first baby's
kids.
on the way.
My first baby at 40.
Okay. First baby's on the way. All right. So.
Well, in 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the deal. Go ahead, Coleman. I feel you twitching over here. Go.
Well, no, man. I'm not. Listen, I'm not going to beat up on you, but we believe that it's your money. That both of you, as a unified couple, should have a unified bank account. And I'm not here to attack, your reasoning behind that. But I never want her to feel like she was dependent on me. Well, I think you've made your point, and I think she's done a good job. But I think it's time for we.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Chris, you're the one that always says we need to speak
French. Speak French.
We.
Derek, I've never been to France, but I know how to speak it, and it's we. Speak. Don't say me. Speak we.
Yeah.
And here's why I say this. You obviously care about this lady. She's getting ready to be the mother of your kids, and that mindset of you working hard and your work ethic and your diligence, you want to kind of pull that together and have that full-on mental process of you guys working together as a team. And I can tell by the sound of your voice, you grew up playing sports, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was your favorite sport?
Football. Now I'm a big golfer, but football was when I was able to.
What side of the ball? Do you play offense or defense?
I like defense.
What
It's
side?
much simpler. You just tackle the man with the ball.
Yeah, I hear you, brother. We're cut from the same cloth.
He likes running the score up.
I love hitting people.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I want you to tackle this life stuff together with her.
Yeah.
And I think working together on your finances, and, it sounds like you may have been burned at some point in time or had something happen financially, and working together as a team, you're going to get to where you want to go a lot faster. Now, real quick, I want to shift on that. And you guys may need to do some marriage counseling on this. Before you have a kid, so you can find out what is that thing that's blocking you. And marriage counseling is not a bad thing, or therapy is not a negative. It's a help. It's a fine tuner. But you said something else I want to hit on. You said you don't believe in the stock market.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I'm going to say just real quick. When I retired, I talked to my stock market buddy, and he said, why don't you go in there and ask the guy what he's worth, and you tell him what you're worth. And what sense does it make to give a guy worth $100,000 $1 million?
No, I agree. And so it's not about the market. That's about an individual. So what
it is, and I understand that. But I'm a physical asset guy. Like me, I know if I put $400,000 in a property, that property is there. That property value is going to go up. Nothing's going to happen to it. But I don't know if I give anybody money where it's going to be by 9 o'clock tonight. It may be in Japan. And at the bottom line, I don't trust other people with my money.
Okay, now that's where we're hitting on.
Now,
and that's a real thing.
It's real. And I would also, I got to ask you, Derek, do you, and I mean this, do you trust your wife?
100%.
Okay, listen to me.
I understand the question.
All right, listen to me. But because I think you're a guy who doesn't give trust easily, and I don't think that's a negative, my man. You're a man of principle.
It took her 4 years to get it.
Yes, sir. I get it. But listen to me, brother. The amount of money that she's got, the amount of money that you guys got, if you put it together, and you do what Chris take over these mutual funds, and you're smart investing, my man, listen to me. You got to loosen up a little bit. You're going to thank us for it.
Well, and the reason I'm asking you about that is I think, it is a matter of working with an individual that's going to help you grow that money. You can be a physical asset guy. You can, but you and I both know a physical asset is only worth what somebody's willing to pay for it. Right? You can have a property and you can say, hey, I'm going to list this thing for sale at $450. If it's in a terrible area or it's a bad property, it's not going to sell. So you, in the mindset of diversification, I like the mindset of you. Obviously, if you're going to buy real estate, my thought is you only want to do it with cash, first and foremost. I don't want you taking on mortgages and all that other stuff. You're going to invest, you do it with cash. The other side of it is diversify yourself, Derek. Listen, put some of that money in some growth stock mutual funds. Yeah. I'm not talking about buying Bitcoin and crypto grumptree, all that old crazy stuff. No, put it in growth stock mutual funds. This way this money's going to work for you. I know you work hard to make this money. Make your money work. Do me a favor. Get in connection with the SmartVestor Pro. Have a conversation. Yes. Lay out your dreams and goals, and let's see what they can do for you.
Interview them. How much are they managing? Don't look at their personal salary. What have they done? Make them show you the scoreboard. You're a scoreboard guy. I like that. Yeah. But man, you got to learn to trust, but do homework. Trust and verify. Hey, don't move. More of your calls coming up. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Folks, it's an honor to tell you about the Army National Guard. Not only are they big supporters of our high school curriculum, but they also give you the opportunity to impact your local communities. Whether your goals are to get an education, serve your country, or have a better life, the Army National Guard can help get you there. Plus, they offer unbelievable financial benefits. Secure your future today. Visit nationalguard.com to find out more.
The Dave Ramsey Show continues. I'm Ken Coleman, Ramsey personality, host of the Ken Coleman Show on the Ramsey Network, joined by fellow Ramsey personality Chris Hogan and host of the Chris Hogan Show, a part of the Ramsey Network as well. Hey, you need to find out yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window covering. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code RAMSEY to get the best deal. Rules and restrictions apply.
Okay, so today's question comes from John in Kentucky. He says, my wife and I are debt-free and work for a nonprofit. We are paid a base salary of about $30,000 and have a 401k with our company. We are reimbursed for housing and transportation, roughly around $20,000. Should we be putting 15% of our base pay, the $30,000, into the 401k, or 15% of the total, the $50,000? So, okay, great question, John. Here's the reality: the $20,000 that you guys are getting in the transportation and housing is income. That's going to count as income. So what you want to do is invest 15% on that total dollar amount of the $50,000, the $30,000 in base pay plus the $20,000 in the transportation and housing reimbursement. Do $15,000 of the 15% of your household income is what you guys want to be saving for retirement. Now, listen, a lot of people out there have questions on retirement, questions on investing. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to chrishogan360.com. You can click on the Dream Team button. And once you hit that button, you can locate a SmartVestor Pro that's in your area. I want you to interview them. Find somebody you trust that you believe in, and they can help you. They can review your 401k. They can take a look. You can get an endorsed local provider to help you with your insurance. You can get a tax ELP to help you with taxes because tax season is coming up. The goal is don't go it alone. You definitely want to get a professional in your corner.
888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. We have a few phone lines still open. You can get in. Let's go to Jimmy in Anchorage, Alaska. Jimmy, how can we help?
Hey, guys. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Great.
I super appreciate you guys. I just love you. I hate debt, and I teach it to all my employees.
That's awesome.
Good for you.
Yes.
How can we help?
At a young age, my dad's company was going under. He was making about $800 or $1,000 a month with expenses going through the roof. And then he let me take over and work for him every day. And together, with mostly me, and most of my decisions, I grew the company to making anywhere from $150,000 to $80,000 a month.
Wow.
Every month, time and time again. And with that, since I was about 14, we grew that company, and we just completed a 30-plex and debt-free, 100%. And now we're at a point where my dad has been promising me the company for the last 18 years doing this. And we're at a point where I bought the property across the street from the 30-plex just because I thought there might be an issue. And personally, and I have about $175,000 debt on it. I'm doing the biweekly payments, 15-year loan. Can't stress that enough to anybody listening. It's amazing. But we're at a fork on the road where my dad has kept promising me the company all these years. And for the first time, I can say, you keep promising it, but if you want my signature to complete the 30-plex, because we ran into a problem building the 30-plex, and he needs to take over my property across the street, I'm asking him to put me on the deed of the property, because this property is in his personal name, not in the corporation's name. And I'm also not on the corporation itself, because he has a problem with greed, unfortunately.
Wow.
So I'm kind of in a point where, do I walk away, or do I give him the signature and then walk away, or do I just keep hoping and delaying the 30-plex until, because this is the first delay, if I don't sign by Monday, which is a delay of 30 days, which is $30,000 a month potentially. But yeah, I'm going to be honest. We did do Dave-ish over the years. However, most of my purchases are $25,000 to $30,000, and I do put them on credit card. But I do have a credit card account that can pay off the limit of the credit card every single month, and I replenish that every time I pay off the credit card. And because of my industry, I have 18 months of savings in the corporation, right, because we work in tourism. Every year, you never know if you're going to have a major problem. Right. And my banker told me 12 years ago, saying, if there's no fish in the water, you can't make any money. Yeah. And same with tourism. If there's no one coming to Alaska,
hey, Jimmy,
we won't be able to make any money.
Jimmy, we got a lot of details here.
Yeah, we do.
But let me.
I'm really nervous.
No, you're doing great. Listen, we're trying to help you. We got limited time, so I want to ask a point-blank question.
Yep.
You gave us, I think, I heard 3 scenarios in there. A lot of details around those. What do you think you want to do? Before Chris and I weigh in, before you called, you were leaning a direction. There's nobody that I've met like you who doesn't have an idea what they want to do, and you want Chris and I to weigh in on that option. And I want to know where your gut's at, because there's some tension between you and your dad. And one of those options I can tell you should be off the table, and that is delaying this thing because he's waiting for a signature. That's going to create more tension. Mm-hmm. If I'm understanding this what are you leaning towards doing before you called?
Yeah, I don't want to walk away. I mean, I've sunk, 18 years since I was 14. I don't want to walk away.
I didn't think so either. So what do you really want?
Nope.
If you could wave a magic pencil in the air and solve this thing, what would you want to be the conclusion?
All I want is to be on the deed, so I have guarantee to have no more. Or am I gonna get the things I was promised or not?
Right.
All I want is the promise. And I've already had the discussion, and it did not end well. And we've had a discussion with other people, with the family members, the trusted CPAs, the lawyers, everything. And he's just like, he hasn't earned it yet.
Okay,
and
so that was my next question. I know what you want, but you've already floated this, and Dad's saying no. So now we got ourselves a game of chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You really do. And Jimmy, as you look at this, one of the things I really want to caution you on is, anytime you mix money and family, things can get tense. Mm-hmm. Without a shadow of a doubt, from what you've told me and told us, you've got a lot of sweat equity into this thing. You have grown it. You have approached it that like it was your own business, and with the mindset of the promise that you were told. The thing that I realize is that if it's not in writing, it's not real. And I think, for you, I want to encourage you to do a couple things, is to try to remove as much emotion from it as you can, initially looking at the business side, but also thinking about, hey, what is your out? Because what you don't want to do is feel like a hostage. Right? You want to, and so what do you think your dad's hang up is? If he's saying you haven't earned it, you said he's greedy. Is he greedy or is he needy? Does he not do well with money, so he's got to have this? Yeah, he doesn't. The running joke is, don't tell me when he makes a purchase. It's the running joke of the company. Because I can cover it. It just annoys me when he doesn't make a planned, calculated decision. Okay.
What happens?
I respect money.
Hey, Jimmy, we got to answer this quick. What happens if you play poker on this and you don't sign, or you don't do the deal with him because he won't sign your name on the deed? How's this going to affect the company?
It potentially will go under. To be honest, he doesn't even know how to do anything in the company. He's been retired for 8 years, but he doesn't admit to he's been retired.
Okay, so here's why I asked that question. You got to understand the stakes. Mm-hmm. You don't want to walk away, but you also don't want to do this deal without your name being on the deed. But you got to decide, if my dad doubles down and he has no idea how bad things could get, which is what you just said, you could unintentionally sabotage the very thing that you want to keep. This may be one of those where you punt and figure out which battle's worth fighting right now. This is not an easy answer, Chris.
No, it's not. It is not, because you got family involved and the other team members involved. Buddy, I'm going to encourage you to meet up with your pastor and get connected so you can get some guidance.
Think big picture. Make the right decision. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Hope is on the other end of a phone call. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague Chris Hogan, as we take your calls about your life, your work, your money. You need a bigger shovel? All right, I'll talk to you about that. I'll teach you how to get promoted. You need some financial peace? Well, we're going to tackle those topics as well. As a matter of fact, Chris, we went to break, and a very, very complex call.
Yeah, we really did.
Yeah, we just had with a young man, and you weren't done with that.
No,
you got a little something else you wanted to say.
Yeah, we were talking to Jimmy in Anchorage, and he's in the family business. He and his dad are pushing back and forth right now. Jimmy wants it to be in writing that he is going to inherit and be able to take over the business as they get ready to do a deal right now that needs his signature. And what I was telling Jimmy, and we were guiding him, this is a complex situation. You've got the young buck buck, the son, and the old buck right now are butting heads, kind of fighting over territory. And I think the more important thing for everybody in that situation to remember is you also have team members that are working for the company, and you got customers that you serve. And there's a mama involved in the middle of this as well, and probably other family members. And so I think it's imperative that you all reach out, get connected with your pastor to begin to sit down and talk about the true things that are going on. And then begin, Jimmy, to talk about, hey, what's the long-range plan? What's going to happen in the next year to 2 years? And to talk about what happens if something happens to your dad. Is this something you would inherit and have that? And I think it's just, you need some communication. Right now, you guys are butting heads, and I don't want you to make an emotional decision that's going to have a ripple effect inside that family for many years to come. So I just want everyone to take a deep breath, get connected with your pastor, get connected with somebody that you all trust, a mentor, somebody, and sit down and have a conversation as a group.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought this up. The thing that I would share with our audience, because I think there are other people that are listening today that are in some type of a family struggle, there's money involved, whatever it is, and this would be the advice. That young man believed deeply in what he had done to build the company. He believes deeply in the company itself and wants to run it, wants to own it. But I wish I had this thought when he was on the line, but I would have said, listen to me, don't lose the war over the battle.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to sometimes go, what happens if I dig in and I make my stand right here, right now?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are times where, Chris, you take the stand.
That's right.
There is no turning back.
That's right.
But as I asked him the question right before we went to the break, I said, what happens if you and Dad don't figure this out and this thing turns into a stalemate? He goes, the company probably goes under. And that's a situation where that's the last thing he wants. It's the last thing Dad wants. Mm-hmm. And so I would just tell you all that when you're in these tough emotional struggles sometimes with people, think about the war, step back a little bit and go, what's the big picture? Mm-hmm. And there are times where we've got to retreat, and technically maybe we lose the battle, or the battle is forfeited, or it is a tie. Mm-hmm. Use whatever analogy you want to use there. Be very, very careful about sometimes digging in and taking a mortal relationship loss.
Yeah, and if there's other baggage, and I know there is because it's called family, but if there are other issues that are left unresolved or other things that are adding to this, you don't want that to add fuel to this now flame that it has other people's lives at stake.
That's right.
So you guys be intentional, and I'll be praying for you. But like I said, get someone in so that can mediate and talk with, and you guys can talk with each other with the emotions dialed down. All right.
Let's go to Richmond, Virginia, where Debbie joins us. Debbie, how can we help?
Hi. Thanks so much for taking my call. This is so exciting.
You bet. What's going on?
I'm calling about a question about college money. I have 3 kids. One of them is in college, and we're cash flowing and using the savings we had for him. The second one is a senior, and his funds his education IRA did really, really well last year. And I'm a little nervous about keeping it in an aggressive fund. So my question is, should I move it to like money market or something more, should I move it? That's my question.
You said it did well. How much is in there, Debbie?
About 40-something thousand.
Okay. If you were to move that 40 to something much more conservative, is that going to be enough to get the child number 2 through college?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, and that's the question. And the reason I ask that is because right now what it's doing is you've got it invested in the way that it's gaining some growth. So if you're looking to gear that down or shift it, I like that idea a lot better than just moving it out altogether. Now, investing is based on risk tolerance, time, and your goal. And so if you all have hit the goal, then what I would do is connect with your investment professional and try to talk about, hey, now we want to go more in preservation mode. We're wanting to preserve what we've grown because we've got what we need. But the beauty with the ESA is that if you don't use it all, right, if it continues to grow and you don't use it all, you can move that to child number 3. So you've got options. I just think the big thing is being aware. A lot of people are asking me a lot of questions. They're calling into my show, the Chris Hogan Show, asking me about the stock market and what's going to happen at this. And now that the election is over and this and this. And I'm like, listen, this stock market is a living, breathing thing, right? If someone hiccups, it responds. But the reality is it's a roller coaster ride. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. Look at what happened pre-pandemic, right? We were sailing high. We get into March and all of a sudden now we had a drastic and incredible drop. But as we hit in September and October, it was back up. And then it was higher than it was back in February. So that shows the resiliency of the market, that it is real. But the most important thing is understanding it's going to be that ride. How much of a ride are you looking to take? We have to grow money, Ken, because this thing called inflation is real.
It is
and
absolutely
the cost
real.
of living is going up. So if inflation is hovering between 2 and 3% or higher, and you've got your money slapped over into a savings account, getting 0.25%, your money is shrinking. That's what we mean by shrinking money. You don't want that. You want your money to grow. So we have to invest it the right way.
Seth writes in on Facebook, Chris, and I get this question a lot, and this is fun. I want you to hear this. Ken, I'm 42 years old. I've worked hard to become debt-free. I don't like my job, but I feel really stupid for trying to start a career at my age. My kids are in high school and their college is funded. My house is paid off. You see how ridiculous this is getting?
Yes.
But I love my guy, Seth. Tell me what to do. I want to love my life, but I can't while I'm stuck in the job I'm in. Hey, Seth, you're desperate for permission. I'm giving it to you. Brother, you have worked hard. You're only 42. How about we say you're 42 years young, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, you're financially in great shape. You don't have to make a risky move. Here, let me tell you what's going on. This is a Facebook question. So I don't have the luxury of going back and forth with him, but really diving into the fear here. And here's the fear. The fear is that he loses all of his financial worth, that he fails miserably if he tries to do something different at 42. Wait a second. That's the wrong narrative. The narrative should be, I'm 42, I'm in great financial shape. What is it that I really want to do? And just let's start with that. Here's the answer. Bing. Once we get that answer, then we go, what is it going to take for me to get qualified to do that? There's the experience question and the education question. What do I need to learn? Certification, some new degree in some cases. And then how much is that going to cost me? How long is it going to take? The experience question, the education question, the economic question, and the expectation question. Once you get the answers to those questions, we've got ourselves a plan.
Yeah.
But absent of the knowledge of those answers, those 4 questions, Chris, it's scary. And he goes, I feel really stupid. The other thing is there's pride going on there because he doesn't want anybody to go, you got a really nice job. Guarantee he's got a nice job. He's got a good job. And he doesn't want any of his friends and family to go, what are you doing leaving that?
Yeah.
The golden handcuffs. And that's pride. We're worried about what other people think. So therein lies the issue, Seth. Call the Ken Coleman Show. Let's dive deep on this. We'll get to it. Hey, I want to thank my colleague, Chris Hogan, for hanging out with me. I want to thank our producer, James Child, our associate producer, Kelly Daniel. But most of all, we want to thank you, America, for hanging out with us and having these all-important conversations. Remember, this is the Dave Ramsey Show.
Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story.
Live Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studio. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. It's where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life and your money. I'm Ken Coleman, host of the Ken Coleman Show, which is part of the Ramsey Solutions Network, joined by my colleague, Chris Hogan, host of the Chris Hogan Show, a part of the Ramsey Solutions Network. And we're thrilled to be here together, taking your calls this hour, 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. You got some retirement questions, you got some investing questions, you got some general money questions. Well, we got Chris Hogan right here. You want to talk a little bit about that big shovel part of this deal. You're not happy in your work. You're not making the kind of money you want to make. You want to figure out how to make that transition and still stay on the baby steps. Well, I'm your guy. We'll take those questions as well. And, hey, if you want to dip into a little bit of the Chris Hogan Show and the Ken Coleman Show, well, we'll take those questions. You know us. You know what we do. So, hey, the point is, we're here for you. 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. You ready to go, big fella?
Let's do it, man. I'm excited to see who we have on the line.
All right, we got Paula in Dayton, Ohio. Paula, how can we help?
Hi there. I am a problem child.
What does that mean?
Yeah, so,
wait a second. I'm not sure I believe that. Yeah. So what does that mean?
You haven't heard it yet.
Okay. So I'm on the edge of my seat.
Judgment. Okay. I am 52 years old, for one, and have never budgeted a day in my life. Money was never spoken of in my home. My mother, I had no idea where money came from. It just was there. We just had it. And got married at 18, stupidly, went from my parents' house to my now ex-husband's house, and it was kind of, if he wanted it, it was great. If I wanted it, it was stupid. So as you can imagine, that was one of the reasons we got divorced 15 years later. So never knew anything about money still. So then I was on my own, and here we are now. 20 so odd years later, and I went back to school after the divorce and got a degree as an occupational therapy assistant and started making some pretty good money. Still no budget. You know, if I had it in my pocket, I spent it and that kind of stuff. Was in debt often and a lot. And then had finally paid off all credit cards. All I owed was a car and a condo, and so that was great. And then my mom got sick with Alzheimer's, and I went in and helped my father with her, sold my house, I moved in with him, and I thought that I would end up getting that house because I was the only one that they had out of, he had children, she had children, they had me. That was not the case. So I wasn't willing to buy his house, the house that I was going to get, you know what I mean? I was going to inherit this house, but he wanted his cake and eat it too kind of thing, and I was paying all the bills, and then he wanted me to buy the house. So he sold the house, and I bought the house that I'm in now. So long story short, I ended up having 3 surgeries last year. I broke my foot, tore my meniscus, tore my wrist.
Hey, Paula.
My good-paying job.
Hey, Paula. I am so sorry about all that, but we have limited time, and I know you got a lot going on. That's okay. What's your question? What's your question for Chris and I?
So here's my question. I have gone from a $58,000 job down to a $20,000 job.
Whoa.
Yes. So my monthly expenses is $2,488. My bring home pay is $3,100. Okay. I have an $18,000 credit card because I had to use that to live on while I was off on surgery with, to make up with workman's comp because they don't pay very much. I owe $19,000 on my car, which that's included in that $2,488. I owe $99,000 on my house for my son and I. I have a 30-year-old son who has autism.
Okay.
My father is now 80, who will probably be moving in with me because he spent all of his retirement.
So is your question,
$4,000 left.
so Paula,
What do I do? I don't have any money left. How do I budget?
All right, great
how
news.
do I budget if you
Great
don't have
news.
any money?
Great news.
And
Hold
how do
on,
you pay off
Paula.
debt?
Paula, hang on.
Help me.
Yeah,
All right,
no,
we got you.
Yeah,
Chris,
so Paula,
tell her what to do.
Yeah, first and foremost, you got to take a deep breath, right? And you do have a lot going on, but here's what you can't do. We can't tackle everything all at once. So you're going to have to take a deep breath. You've got a lot of stuff in your rearview mirror. But what you have to believe is you've got much more in your windshield. And what I'm saying is you can glance back and look at the things that didn't go well or that did or didn't go as planned. But now in front of you, you have what's called choices. And so realistically, what would I do? I'm going to start to think of ways, number one, and how to boost my income. Like, number one, to go from 58,000 to 20 is a drastic drop. Yes, you had some surgeries. You had some life happen that was outside of your control, but we're going to control the controllables. My faith, my attitude, my outlook, and my actions. And so in that, I want you to control controllables. Let's begin to take on extra jobs if you have to. Get this car sold and out of your life so you can eject that payment and get the boot off your throat. And so it's these kinds of things that you do. You start to take control of things that you can. You may need to go sit down and talk to a therapist to just say, you know what, I got a lot of stuff that hadn't gone as planned. Help me. And that's on the mental side, the mental health side of things. But as far as strategically, financially, you got to take control. So I'm going to tell you to get over into Ramsey Plus. We got a free 2-week trial right now. I want you to go over to see if you are going to commit to this. Because I have figured out, Paula, some people love drama. Some people love it. Other people are allergic to it. Other people say they've had enough. And so if you've had enough, you can get over in Ramsey Plus, learn how to budget. We're going to show you with the best budgeting tool on the planet. It's called Every Dollar. And so it's a matter of taking this one step at a time, Ken, not trying to feel like you can fix everything all at once.
Yeah, you won't be able to fix it all at once, Paula. But listen, you've got to take us up on the Ramsey Plus. Get in there and start using the Every Dollar budget. Make sure you go through the Financial Peace University and walk through this. And as Chris said, my number one priority right now would be increasing my income,
right,
so that you can begin to make some headway.
And I want you to start to have some boundaries for yourself and have real things. If things didn't go as planned with your dad initially, and now you're talking about he's moving back in, okay, well, you said he had kids in previous marriages. You got to have a conversation.
Yeah.
So I'd probably be pulling the siblings together so we can talk about what's going to be done for dad, who can afford to do what. That way you're not having a silent bitterness, you're getting clarity.
That's right. But you can do this, Paula. You just got to take control of what you can control. Make some more income, start paying off that debt. If you got to sell the car and drive a hoopty, that's fine too. Freedom is not as far away as you think. I've seen people pay off way more than what you've got. You can do this. We believe in you.
Stop using that credit card.
That's right. Get it out of your life. All right, folks, don't move. More of your calls coming up. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.
What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices. And they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings.
Welcome back to the Dave Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined in studio by my colleague Chris Hogan as we take your calls about your life, your money, your work, the relationship issues around money. We'll take it all on 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. I want some of you out there, maybe new to the show, I want you to just picture for a moment your life with no credit cards or medical bills, no student loans, no no car payments. Now just think about that for a second. How much better would you feel? After 2020, most of America feels the same way you do right now, stressed and out of control, but this year can be different. It's time, finally, to take control of your money. The best way to do that is the Ramsey Plus Money Reset. It's our challenge for anyone who wants to start and does start Ramsey Plus this year. How much progress could you make on your money if you went all in for 90 days? All in to paying off your debt fast and finally saving for emergencies. With Ramsey Plus, we're going to show you how to get daily small wins with your money and even some really big ones. Then we'll help you turn those wins into lifelong habits. This year is the year you can decide to reset your money, to go all in for 90 days and take control of your money. Make today day one and start Ramsey Plus for free. DaveRamsey.com/reset. That's where you go. DaveRamsey.com/reset. Reset. Chris, there's power in just deciding to go, you know what? Why not?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead.
Yeah.
It's kind of like jumping in the pool when it's like, good grief, it's going to be cold. It's that first spring pool visit, and that water's too chilly. Kids don't care. They just they run in like crazy. We adults, we get there and we go.
You get to be our age. We know. We know some things, but you're right.
You just got to jump in, though.
You really do. And I want to encourage people with this. I mean, we talked so much about 2020, and we were holding our breath since July, waiting for the year to end. And lo and behold, it has ended. Mm-hmm. And so now what? And I think a lot of times, if you're not careful, you'll get a continuation of last year if you don't change some things. Yeah. And I think it's important to change your expectations, your outlook, as well as your actions. So, it's just time. It's time to make some decisions. It's time to make some changes. And sometimes the Band-Aid just has to come off. And so you just got to pull that thing off and say, you know what? I'm changing stuff now.
I love it. Well, we've got people lined up that want to make some positive change in their life and in their money. 888-825-5225. That's the number for you to jump in as well. 888-825-5225. Modesto, California is where Bobby joins us. Bobby, how can we help?
Hi, thank you for taking my call. How you guys doing?
Man, we're having a blast. What's going on with you, sir?
All right. So, I'm on baby step 3. I paid off all my debt in the last I paid it off last year. As crazy as the year was, I got a chance to pay it off. It was $33,000 in total.
There you go.
And me and my wife, thank you, man. Me and my wife, we stuck to the baby steps, and we went ahead and knocked it out. We also got our 6-month emergency fund saved.
Good.
I love it.
Yeah, man. We really went gazelle intensity, and we just really put our hearts and minds into it, and we got it done. My question now is, going into the new year, the stimulus, tax money coming in, we're debt-free. What do you guys think is the next best move for me? Is it to save for a house? Is it to put the 15% into investing? How much do I save for a house? What percentage or not? Is it a good time? I would be a first-time home buyer. Stuff like that. First, me and my wife are pretty excited about where we're at.
Yeah.
I just want to touch base with you guys.
Well, you should be excited about where you are. You all have taken back control of your financial life. Congratulations. You paid off $33,000 in debt. You don't do that by accident, and especially in a year where we had a pandemic. So I'm very proud of you guys. You've been very intentional. Now, you had multiple questions there for me, Bobby. So let me tell you this. First and foremost, when you're looking at buying a home, you got to be aware of your landscape. You guys know in California, you guys charge for air out there. I mean, it is expensive. So you got to look and figure out what part of California are you looking to buy, or are you thinking about moving? So you got to be aware of this and start to understand kind of the median home prices in your area and what you're thinking of. I'd connect with a good real estate ELP in your area just to give you a lay of the land and know what's going on. The next thing I'd do, if I'm in your shoes right now, I'd start to save for a home down payment. It sounds like house is something you guys are going to be in intentional with. However, if you don't see that being something that's going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years, then I would definitely say, it's baby step 3B when you save up for a down payment. Minimum of 10% is what you want to have. I'd prefer you go in with 20% down, but a minimum of 10%, and you could just park that money right in with your money, emergency fund in the money market account. If you've got $15,000 in for your emergency fund, anything over and above that is a part of your home down payment. That's what I do. If it's going to be 2 to 3 years out that you got to say, you know what, we're going to rent for a little bit and be intentional to try to save up money, that's fine too, but have a plan.
Yeah, really good advice there. Thank you so much for the call, and congratulations. Let's just revisit the fact that in a crazy year, a pandemic year, he and his wife got debt free. Fantastic work. That's really good. The best is still ahead for you, Bobby. Great stuff. Let's go to Steve now in Seattle, Washington. Steve, how can we help?
Yes, I have recently retired. I'm 66 years old, completely debt-free. I have a Roth IRA and a conventional IRA. The Roth IRA is worth $250,000, and the conventional IRA is worth $600,000 in mixed mutual funds. The Roth is more speculative than the conventional. But what I'm wondering is if I should consider backing out all my money into cash and then dollar cost averaging back into the market using the Ramsey portfolio models of the 25% in each category. I want to conserve my nest egg, but I don't want to get out of the market completely. But I'm thinking we might be due for a crash here pretty soon, or at least a big adjustment. And I just want to be prepared. What's your opinion?
Well, okay, Steve, let me hear if I'm asking you right. The backing back in, are you talking about that from the traditional IRA or your Roth?
Both, I was thinking.
Okay. Well, here's what I tell you. People typically, whenever there is a new election or any kind of new year or new season that's coming, people are always trying to have a magic crystal ball. And they're always trying to tell us that a crash is coming or an increase is coming. And here's the thing that I realize. If we look at what happened in 2020 in the year of the pandemic, and the market dropped like it did as we look back in March, and then we look at the climb that it made back in October and September, here's the reality. Nobody can predict. So what I would tell you is with the Roth money that you have, the $250,000, you've got that thing. I mean, it's after tax. You've got that money growing tax-free. I'm not messing with that. Looking at your traditional, you got to begin to talk through and look at and say, okay, am I at my point? Have I hit my number where I want to be? Or do I want to continue to keep growing this? Like you said, preserving the nest egg. But you just don't want to preserve. You're also probably looking to grow. We know inflation is a very real thing. The cost of living is going to go up. So we need to make sure that our money's growing, not just kick back in a hammock. So I would tell you this, as you look at your income and what you're planning to do work-wise, if any, over the next 5 to 6 years, you may have an opportunity with your income that you have as opposed to moving or changing your investments. But I want you to do exactly what I just told a friend of mine to do in your same spot, was to sit down with your investment professional, bring in your Roth IRA, bring in your conventional, bring in your 401k, everything, and let's get it all on a complete game plan, meaning have the dollars all kind of working together. What's the goal of this? What am I planning to leave? What am I planning to grow? And just get a unified plan for you. That way you can start to look, and do you need to back down and be less aggressive, or do you need to tune up in some areas? It's a better deal to get this holistic view rather than a hit or miss thing, trying to jump in and out of the market. Ken and I were talking about that at the break. Trying to time things in the stock market will lead to heartache and headache.
And what we saw, as you referenced a moment ago in 2020, we did see some really big dips.
Yeah.
Crazy dips.
Yeah, we did.
We also saw it come back.
That's right.
And so this idea of, it's going to crash, it can't keep being overheated and all this kind of stuff.
Nobody has a crystal ball.
Stay on the roller coaster.
Stay focused. Put a seatbelt on.
Yeah.
And that's called having a plan.
Yeah, I love it. Good stuff. All right, he is Chris Hogan. I'm Ken Coleman. We're sitting in here on the Dave Ramsey Show. More of your calls coming right up. Don't move.
Cliff and I joined Christian Healthcare Ministries because we really liked the concept of Christians sharing each other's burdens. And we really experienced that firsthand when Cliff was diagnosed with heart disease. It was just such a relief to know that financial burden was going to be taken care of.
CHM is the original and longest-serving health cost sharing ministry. Get started today and check us out at chministries.org.
The Dave Ramsey Show continues, taking your calls, your questions, and we're going to inject some clear steps and some hope, and we're going to cheer you on. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague, Chris Hogan, and it's always fun, big man, to get in here and just meet people where they are.
That's exactly
real-life
right.
conversations. We've all been there.
Yeah, we have.
There's no shame in your game.
Nope.
Reach out, get
and
some help.
especially when you're trying to get better.
Yeah.
You know, and so the most important thing is not to do it alone.
Yeah.
Reach out, get some guidance, get some encouragement, get some coaching, or maybe even get a little kick in the pants. If necessary, right? That's part of coaching. And Coleman, you're the career coach.
Yeah.
I'm the money coach.
Yeah.
We coach people.
Yeah, you know, I like that. You know, the old kick in the pants is good as long as you get a little pat on the back, too.
That's right.
Come
and
on.
It's got to be well intended.
Yeah.
Right? And so we got to make sure, hey, we got to push.
Yeah.
Because what's crazy is that, you know, when you have goals and you have things that really matter to you, one of the things I talked about on my show, the Chris Hogan Show, was it's real easy to set a goal, but I want to take it a step further. You can go check it out on YouTube. You can see it. It was one of my first of the year episodes. But what I said was I gave a new spin on it. We got to not only identify what we want, but let's think about who stands to gain. Like when you have that mindset of what you want to accomplish, who stands to gain in your family if you reach that goal? Then let's take it a step further. What are you willing to sacrifice to get to that goal? See, we have this and mentality in our culture today. I want to do this and do that. Well, hold on. Can't do everything. So if I do this, then what? Or what am I willing to give up? Am I willing to watch a little less TV to start to work on this dream job or this side gig or to attack debt? And so it's these little things that we can do, Ken, to really help promote our goals and to promote ourselves.
By the way, I want to make sure I promote. All you got to do is go to YouTube and search The Chris Hogan Show. While you're there, search The Ken Coleman Show. Subscribe to both of them.
Yep.
We're going to coach you up. But, you know, I want to add to something you said there because it's absolutely true. And I found this in my life, Chris, that I finally started getting breakthrough in multiple areas of my life when I grasped the concept of the long haul. And let me explain by that. If I went out on the street, let's say I took a camera with me and a microphone and I walked around the street and I just got a bunch of strangers and I said, hey, let me ask you this. If I guaranteed you success in whatever area of their life, all right, let's just say, Chris, I guarantee you your dream job. Would you do whatever it takes? What do you think 9 out of 10 people would say to me?
Oh, yeah, they would say yes.
All right. What if I then followed up and said, okay, great. And one more question. Are you willing to wait as long as it takes? What do you think the answer would be there?
No.
I think it'd be a lot of pauses.
Oh, yeah.
Because, see, therein lies a little bit of what you're touching on, and I just wanted to add to this. Anything worth having, you're going to have to be willing to wait.
Yes.
Now, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you're just sitting around waiting for it to happen. A lot of people are just waiting for their lucky break. I'm saying I am getting up and I am persisting.
Mm-hmm.
Rice and beans, beans and rice, that snowball. You know, in my lane over here, we're talking about, well, we're going to get qualified. We're going to do what it takes, and it's going to take some time. Maybe it takes 3 to 5 years to get qualified. In my journey, it took 7 years to get to the opportunity to then get the dream job. So what I want people to understand is the game changer is I'm willing to do whatever it takes, and everybody's up for that. Woohoo! We're all fired up. But when you realize, are you willing to do it for 3 years? For 5 years?
Yeah.
For 7 years? Are you willing to wait? on the results. So I got to get out there and I got to chop wood. And when I'm chopping a big old tree down, Chris, it ain't going to happen in an hour.
No, I'm telling you this.
Might not happen in an afternoon.
No, because that tree has been there a while and it's taken some effort. But here's what I figured out in waiting. There's wisdom in waiting.
Yes.
And there's also working in waiting. And
That's
I like
right.
that you said that. It's not just sitting still. I'm moving in a direction. And I can remember way back in the day when I was in mainstream banking, and I knew that wasn't for me. I knew I didn't like pitching people products and stuff. I wanted to help people. And so there was 2 to 3 years of that frustration and irritation before I moved into the next realm. And so what I would encourage people to do is let that frustration and irritation be a motivator for you instead of a frustrator. And I think that can help, because where you are right now doesn't have to be where you end up.
That's it.
Unless you stop.
Persistence is real. Yeah, it's got the sizzle factor. We all like those persistence stories, but nobody ever really talks about the patience while persistent.
That's a
And
good
so
point.
that's the point here. Grab that. Grab the importance of patience. Some of you are early on in this journey. And you're going, come on, man. Seriously, how long is this going to take? Well, I don't know. But I know that you're going to have to be patient while you persist. You have to sacrifice, but keep that mindset and understand that it is the patience that will end up fueling the persistence.
Well, and also, as you have to wait to get to something, you will savor it once you get there.
Isn't that the truth?
You will look at it totally different as opposed to if you got it 3 or 4 years earlier, you may not have even appreciated it as much.
Isn't that true?
It's so weird.
If I start running right now around the block and you show up within the first 30 seconds with a bottle of water, I'm grateful.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't appreciate that bottle of water unless you let me run a mile or two, then show up with the water. Now, how much do I love that water?
You really appreciate that water.
Yeah, so there you go, folks. All right, let's get to the phones. Hunter is up in Santa Cruz, California. Hunter, how can we help?
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
You bet. How can we help?
All right. So my wife and I are on baby step 3, and we have about $3,500 in our emergency fund. So we're almost halfway. But as we get closer, I keep wondering about retirement. And right now I have a Roth IRA target retirement. But I was reading that you guys, Dave was saying that the normal Roth IRA is better. You get better returns, and so I want to do everything I can to.
Hey, Hunter, do me a quick favor. Let's see if we can adjust that phone, get it closer to your mouth, and see if we can hear you a little bit better.
Is this better?
We'll try it. Chris, you can take over.
Yeah, go right ahead. So, Hunter, what you're talking about with target date funds, these funds are essentially set up to auto invest for you based on your age. And here's the problem with that. My first book, Retire Inspired, I'm going to send you one. Zach's going to get your information and we'll get it to you. But I said in that the subtitle of that book is Retirement's Not an Age, It's a Financial Number. So target date funds are set up to auto invest based on age. As you get older, it gets much more conservative. So I don't like those. I'd rather you utilize the growth stock mutual funds that we talk about. So that way you are controlling the growth. You're controlling the mindset of where you are. Now, hear me. You're not there yet because you're still working on your emergency fund. But I appreciate and respect the fact that you're kind of peeking ahead. You're getting motivated. You've got dreams you're trying to chase down. So, but I want you to sit down with the SmartVestor Pro, look at growth stock mutual funds, diversify across the 4, and truly start to be intentional. Couple things for you. Go over to chrishogan360.com. I've got a free investing guide, an Everyday Millionaire investing guide at my website. It's a 35-page PDF. It's free that you can download, and you and your wife can start looking at that and start reading through it, preparing to sit down with the SmartVestor Pro. But I also want you guys to do the Retire Inspire Quotient, the RIQ. This is going to show you really how much you're going to need to live the dream. But here's what I love. It helps you with the dream date. So you guys can walk through and start to really uncover what is retirement going to look like for you? What are you guys wanting to do later in life? What motivates you? What gets you excited? And it's going to help you guys unite on the plan. And so that's the route to go. You don't ever want to set it and forget it mentality with investing. You want something that's active and it is connected for you and your dreams.
Chris, this highlights the reason why we believe so much in our SmartVestor Pros. When you've got these super, customized plans that need to be developed based on, the progress you've made financially plus your age group.
That's right.
There's a lot there. I just had a friend of mine. He had his parents come to me and said, "Hey, my parents, they're in good shape, we think, but and I said, you know what? Where do they live?" And we got a couple SmartVestor Pros to talk with them. They picked the one that they like the most. I just really want to underscore why we actually have that program.
That's right. You want to remove the question, right? There's so many questions in life and things. You want to work with a pro that's going to help you get there.
Yep. So DaveRamsey.com, SmartVestor Pros, sit down with somebody, interview multiple people, get a good feel about it. You're hiring them, not the other way around. Don't be intimidated. Keep asking questions. It's kind of like that kid, if they get frustrated with all them questions, check them off the list. Keep on asking questions so you get the answers that you need. All right.
That's good.
Speaking of questions, we're going to take more of yours. Coming up next, don't move. Chris Hogan, Ken Coleman here on The Dave Ramsey Show. Welcome back to the Dave Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman, joined by my colleague Chris Hogan as we take your questions about your life and your money and your work. 888-825-5225. Today's scripture, Philippians 4:6-7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Our quote today from Zappos founder Tony Hsieh: we must all learn not only to not fear change, but to embrace it enthusiastically, and perhaps even more important, encourage and drive it. 888-825-5225 is the number to jump in. Let's go to Robin, who joins us in Lexington, Kentucky. Robin, how can we help?
Hi. I'm in debt up to my ears.
Okay.
I've got the guy you talked to about an hour ago with his wife and has been doing separate incomes.
Okay.
Well, I'm kind of in that way. My husband's on disability, Social Security, just SSI, and 2 children. So with the government, with that, I can't work. They won't let me work because they'll take his check. So, I've got student loans. I've got over $118,000 in student loans. I've got a master's degree. And we're a finance company. We're pawning everything just to make by. It's the 15th of the month, and we are broke.
What did you get your master's? What did you get your master's degree in, and for what purpose?
I've got my master's degree in ministry. I was wanting to go to the mission field, but financially that's not working out.
Okay.
Which I know most missionaries start out, because I'm from a missionary family, start out with nothing anyway.
How much is your husband's? How much is your husband's disability check? What's that income? The net coming in each month?
It is $793.
Okay.
And the 2 kids are $793.
So those
will be on within 4 years.
So we have 3 payments of $793 a month coming in.
That just started the raise in January. Yes.
Okay, and that's the only income you guys have coming in.
The only income.
Okay.
And my house is paid off. I paid that with the first stimulus. I do not get the second stimulus because I didn't file in 19.
Okay. And so you have the student loan debt of $118,000. What other debts do you all have?
We've got things that are all in pawn. We have a finance company. We have another finance company which he just like Cash Express. I don't know if you know about that or not.
I sure do. I do.
Well, I do that. So
okay.
And we are postponing like water bill and electric bill. We're just making payments to keep it on. My water bill because of a leak was over almost $300 this month.
So if you guys are bringing in right now around $2,400, where's it going?
Well, I only have the 2 checks. He only pays the finance company, and I don't know what he does with his money.
Okay.
And the other 2, I make payments on everything else.
Okay, so you guys are operating what's in divided money.
Yeah.
Okay. How long have you all been married, Robin?
It'll be 20 years next month.
Okay. Is this the way it's always been?
No, we started out working until he got sick and got cancer twice, and some health problems happened.
Okay. All right. Well, and looking at this, I mean, how old are your kids?
The ones that are on disability we have 3 that are still, well, one's fixing to get married. She'll be 18 next month. I've got a 14 and a 15-year-old they're on disability.
Okay. Well, I can say this. You know, the one of the most important things for you all to do with limited income right now is to absolutely be on a plan. And these finance companies, I'm going to tell you right now, those things are eating away in the charges, and you got to get this cobweb off of you. And you guys aren't going to be able to do this working independently. You're going to have to sit down and come together. And that's talking about putting your money in a joint account together, a bill-paying account, and really starting to dig in and look at this. This is.
I've tried that. He just doesn't want to do that.
Okay. Are you all?
He's been married before, and it's not that there's no trust there financially. It's just he won't do it.
Right. Well, you guys been together 20 years. Okay. So I don't know what happened in the previous time, and that ain't your fault. I'm going to tell you right now.
No,
and so, are you all plugged into a church at all?
Yes, I am. He isn't now.
Okay.
We're in a very small church. I'm really not in Lexington. I'm outskirts of Lexington. I'm more close to the Tennessee line.
Okay.
And you look at McCray County, we're the poorest in the nation, so I live in a very small.
Hey,
poor
Robin,
county.
Robin, listen, can I shoot you really, really straight here? And I'm going to try to say this as lovingly as I can, but you in some ways are a victim of really bad government policy, and I can't stand when I hear calls like this that, if I go to work, he loses his disability. And I don't know what's going on with the kids. We don't really have time to break that down. But I think you're going to have to also consider how much money could you make if you worked a full-time job? And what would your...
Now, I did have a job about 2 years ago.
Okay, how much were you bringing home? What was your net?
I was bringing home, not exactly...
Give me a ballpark figure.
I was bringing maybe about $1,000 to $2,000 a month.
Okay.
It varies. I worked at Walmart, so I was a full-time employee at Walmart.
Yeah. Great, but here's my point. You're full-time at Walmart, and if you had to for a season, you could work a second job beyond that. And if you got that take-home to $2,500 or $3,000 a month, you're coming out in the positive. I'm telling you, you have got to get back to full-time work, and this puts the pressure on the hubs to kind of come together here, and we go, hey, look, we cannot keep taking disability payments and trying to live off of that. You cannot do this anymore, Robin. You got to go out and work your tail off. Yeah. And when you do that, this is America, and I'm sure in Kentucky and Tennessee, there's plenty of jobs that you can get out there and make a substantial amount more than even if we lost those disability payments and go, who cares? But we're free from the shackles because right now you're limited. I'm pretty fired up, Robin. Robin, you need to go get a job. And I mean like another job. And no, listen.
I could go back to Walmart. They would hire me back in a heartbeat because I left it.
Then go today. Hang up. I'm hanging up on you.
Yeah.
Right now.
Go
because you need to get in the car and you need to go get a job and you need to play this back for the husband. And Hubs, listen to me, Hubs.
Yep.
I'm shooting you straight, Hubs. 20 years you've been married to this woman. You're full of crap, sir. You don't have trust problems. You have discipline problems. And you don't want to own up to it. And so you're leaning on a crutch from a previous relationship that was 20 years ago.
Let it go, bro.
Let it go and step up. And I know you've had health problems, and I don't begrudge you for that, but you can still be a man and own this problem with your wife.
And take care of this. Take care of your kids. Take care of them. And
man, I got to tell you, dude. Well, you know what? Because this is wrong.
Yeah. No, and it's a systemic problem.
This is a systemic problem.
Really
it's
is.
a government benefits problem where it motivates and disincentivizes people to be free. But here's the other thing. This dude has no excuse to not do joint bank accounts and sit down with her and go, I'm going to stop spending my benefits check however I please because I'm so freaking miserable that it's my excuse. I'm going to tell you something, Hoagie. You better take over.
No, you're good, dude.
Because my blood, because it's wrong. It's wrong.
I see your neck getting red. You're getting feisty.
I hope he watches it. Robin, you better play it back for him because I'll be the bad guy.
Yeah.
All right.
We got to help people. All right. That was coaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the kick in the pants. Ain't no pat on the back there. All right. Hey, I want to say love you, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Always fun hanging with my friend Chris Hogan. I want to thank our producer, James Childs. Zach Bennett sitting in today, associate producer and call screening. Thank you, Zach. But most of all, thank you, America, for listening. This is the Dave Ramsey Show.